Hi guys, welcome to Goalie Talk. I hope everybody is doing really well. With us today is Howie Ford. Howie is a goalkeeper from Devon, but he has played all over the country, all over the world. The main thing we'll probably get to at the end of this podcast is that age is definitely just a number. And we'll welcome Howie to the podcast, and we'll get cracking.
All right, Tom. Nice to be with you. So started playing 26 years old.
Yeah.
At Morris Motors, a small club in Oxford.
Yeah.
Or before that, I played mixed hockey. Was my first ever hockey game, and I enjoyed that so much. I thought, okay, well, talk to the guys. They said, yeah, come and play for the men's team. So I thought, all right. Played for them for a few years. Went on tour to Guernsey at Easter. Did all the social things that you do. And then thought, well, this is great fun. And I captained and coached the team in 91, 92. And we went through the season unbeaten. And then I promptly left them because I wanted to play at the highest level I could. And locally, that was Oxford Hawks, who were South Premier, I think. But I wanted higher than that. And I was playing for the England mixed hockey team. And a number of people on that team said, come to play at Old Louds. So I thought, well, let's go and have a look. And I was impressed with the facilities. They had 2 Astros and OLHC embroidered in the carpet in the bar. And I thought, okay. And somebody mentioned to me they didn't have a regular second team keeper. So I thought, right, that's it. That made my mind up. And I spent 2 years and £2,500 travelling from Oxford to Old Louds 3 times a week, twice for training on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and then up there Saturday for weekends, doss down on someone's sofa, and then get the train back again. And I'd get home at midnight, midnight. And it was a real slog, but it was going to get me to where I wanted to get to.
How old were you then?
Well, then I was just over 30.
So you started training. You started playing when you were 26.
Yeah.
That was the first time. Was that the first time you were ever on a hockey pitch, or was the first time you played in goal?
First time I played. We played 2 games of hockey at school when the football pitches were flooded, and the PE teacher just said, "Right, lads, take some hockey sticks and go and play hockey." So we played 1 game. So when I was 11, I played a game, and when I was about, I think, 13, we played a game of hockey on the tarmac netball court, again, because pitches were flooded. And that was it. And then I was a navigator in car rallies. I raced motorcycles and then played football. And I got sick with the ill discipline in football, the abuse of the officials, whether they were the opposition's linesman or not, didn't matter. The ref was always getting it. There was too much physical contact and downright cheating. And I thought, that's it. I've had it. I'm not playing this game. And a guy I used to race motorbikes with said, well, Howie, come and play hockey. You could be the goalie. Because he was. And he wanted to get out of it. So I thought, all right, yeah. I gave it a shot, and that was it. The rest is history. It was brilliant. Best thing I ever did.
So you like the fast life?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm slowing down a bit now.
Now, this is not sometimes a rude question, but it does flow into the reason why I'm talking to you. So how old are you now?
60 now.
60 now. And what level of hockey are you playing at the moment?
I'm playing I play for ISCA second team in the Championship, which is the second league in the Southwest, the Verdi Recreo League.
Yeah, and it wasn't that, I'm right in thinking it wasn't that long ago you were playing ones and having some games for ones,
Last season, last season I had 12 or 13 matches for the first team.
In the National League?
Yeah, Conference West.
Conference West. So the 59, 60-year-old National
59.
League Conference, sorry?
59 I was when I was doing that.
59-year-old playing, and this is the important message I want to get across to people.
Yeah.
Is that age is simply a number, especially when it comes to you, Howie.
Oh well. See, shoe size.
What are we looking at?
Don't act your age, act your shoe size. That's what I do.
So I think a lot of people can probably relate in parts to your story.
Uh-huh.
I think personally, and take this the right way, you are an anomaly. Like that is meant to be a compliment. hopefully it is one. I think most goalkeepers are probably anomalies in their own way, but I think that's kind of where I want to go with it. Like a lot of older goalkeepers that have either come back to it, or they've started when they were older, or or play because their kids play, or whatever it is. There's a reason for it, but there are also some difficulties with it. There's some differences, and maybe how you play, how you prepare, how you look after your body. Because knowing you, as I do, like your preparation is really physically. Every time I do a session with you, even though it's not that often, but the last time we did, like it's, you know what you need to do to get your body in the right space, place, so that you can do it 2 days later. And it's really important, but also the level you play at.
Well, I first lied about my age when I went to Old Louts, because the coach there, Ian McGinn, he wouldn't pick anyone who was 30. Once you hit 30, that was it. You were done as far as he was concerned.
Yeah.
And I was 32. So I knocked 5 years off my age. And I told the manager and registered with the HA as being 27. And then eventually I made it into the first team outdoors and indoors as well. And when we won finals night and I was playing, that was January 2000. So I was 39 when I won finals night.
Has there been a break at all?
I did take a couple of, because coming down from playing first team hockey, I found quite difficult.
Why did you find it difficult?
Dropping down to the twos at Old Louts, the pace was slower, the skill wasn't as great, the officiating wasn't as good, and
you feel you could still keep up? You feel you could still do the job that was necessary of you with the training that you had to play at the first team level?
Yeah. Back then.
Yeah.
And now at ISCA, I'm confident I can. It's just that someone else has got in this season, so I'll be 61 when I play National League next year.
Yeah. Which will be amazing. we need to celebrate this.
It would be. But yeah. I'm very, very pleased to have been able to get back into the Conference West last season, and proud of the fact that as a defence, although we finished as a side down the bottom of the table, just missing out, we survived. But as a team, as a defensive team, we had the 5th best record in the league. And I take a lot of pride in that.
Remember that first camp when we were in Exeter?
Oh yeah, very well.
Yeah, I mean, a long time ago. I really need to get down there and do some more. But I just remember it so clearly. I just remember a load of kids sort of running around, not really thinking too much, a bit afraid to make mistakes and get things wrong, and then there's you leading the charge, getting stuck in, seeing the ball seeing the ball like a beach ball, like it was a bit, like, again, don't take this wrong way, but like a bit agricultural.
Yeah.
But it didn't matter because
well, I'm in Devon, aren't I?
You no, the whole reason why we're having this conversation is that is an important thing. Like I coach goalkeepers. Actually, you're probably one of the oldest goalkeepers I coach or have coached. Not necessarily on a regular basis. But
that's only because you're so far away.
I know. I'm sorry.
If you were down here, I'd be seeing you quite often.
Trust me, if I could live in Devon, I would.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful place. No, I mean, the first time, I mean, a lot of people would have hung up their kit by now and called it a day and thought, yeah, I don't need to train on these cold winter evenings and go and travel a couple of hours up the M5.
Yeah.
And play all these different teams and maybe not have to do anything and and suffer defeats and you have your wins as well. Why do you do it? And like, where does the motivation come from?
Well, I do it partly because my wife doesn't want me to stop. She says I'd be a complete.
I thought you were going to say your wife doesn't want you to do it, so you'll do it anyway. So you do it anyway.
No.
Sorry.
I'm not good to live with when I'm not playing hockey.
Okay.
Apparently, but no, I just absolutely love the game. Love it. Always have, ever since I started. And my year is filled with hockey. I mean, Wednesday night training, Saturday or Sunday matches, and if it's not club hockey, then it's going to be Masters, representative Masters level. So play for the old people.
You're playing Masters hockey whilst at the moment COVID's it's tricky, but
when it's permitted, we can't do anything at the moment. We've done nothing this year. I should have been in Tokyo in November.
No, it's tough.
But that got called off, and they've called it off for next November already. So we're waiting to see where that tournament fits in.
I think the first thing that springs into mind is about your motivation, and I think you've answered that pretty concisely. It obviously is fun. It fills you with joy. What I want to talk to you about as well is the physical side of things. So quite often when I coach older goalkeepers, I try to keep them on their feet a little more, stop them from going to ground quite as much, because it is quite wearing on the back and the hips, and they prefer to stay on the feet. Some like throwing themselves about, but we've got to manage how much load there is doing things like that. So try to keep them on their feet. What do you do to keep yourself fit and healthy and injury free and be able to train as you do?
I go and see a chiropractor once a month just to get my back realigned and checked over. And I don't hesitate to go to a physio in Exeter if I get an injury. But I guess I'm just a little bit careful. I like to take care of myself. Part of that is keeping fit, doing weight sessions, doing a bit of aerobic work. I've invested in a very fancy set of dumbbells for the lockdown, and we've got a running machine in a bedroom.
In the bedroom?
Not our bedroom.
All right.
Another bedroom.
Okay.
And core work as well. So I'm not a big fan of being on the ground unless it's absolutely necessary, because once you're down, in a lot of cases, you're out. You're very limited in what you can do. The advantage then lies with the attacker. And I've always been more comfortable on my feet, where I'm more mobile, and I'm very careful about when I make the decision to get on the floor. And I see a lot of younger keepers flying all over the place, but they make the initial stop, but then the rebound and any follow up takes place around them, and often they concede then.
Yeah, I think I think from having trained with you before, the one thing that I always know that you will do. So if the session's at 10 a.m., you will be there at 9:30. You will be there getting your body ready, your kit ready, and when it's session time to start, you are primed and ready to go, and you know your body, you know, and you probably know when it needs rest as well. Having done that, you know, like if I know I've got a session with someone that's your age, I will be thinking in the back of my mind, I can't push them too hard. Unfortunately, yes. I haven't found the limit with you when we've done sessions before. And this brings me back to the first time I ever met you, was at a camp that we ran in Exeter about 6 years ago.
Yeah, I remember it well.
Hot day. So the one thing, two things that I took from that training day for you were that you were always wanting to learn something. You were always asking a question. You're always happy to get it wrong in order to get it right, to work out what works, try new things. You knew what worked for you up to a point. The whole point that you were there was to see if you could improve yourself. But that's very much based on what you can do and not necessarily reliant overly on what other people can do for you. Mm-hmm. That's really important. If I could have more junior goalkeepers like that and try and encourage them to be more willing and open, then they will learn much quicker. So that was really, really refreshing. I remember going home that evening, because I remember we had it was like a 2-day camp, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
And going the next day going, I wonder if he's going to. Firstly, we had a really good goalkeeper today, and you'll never guess how old he is. I know I'm dwelling on age a bit, but it is important because it is just a number, and you are a brilliant example of it. But the other thing was, I wonder if he's going to crack tomorrow. I wonder if he's going to break physically. And you didn't. You didn't. I tried. But from a goalkeeping point of view, like we mentioned earlier in the chat before the pod, that, and again, I didn't want to insult you, but this was definitely a compliment, is that even though it was the way you keep the ball out of the net was, because I definitely have seen a huge amount of improvement since I saw you then, was agricultural. You said you're from Devon, or you live in Devon at the moment, and that makes a lot of sense. But you connected with the ball. You saw the ball. You wanted to get where you were brave when you needed to block the ball. You got your body into all sorts of shapes to stick a foot out, to stick an arm out, to get hit. And it was all about, okay, well, I've done that well. How can I make it better? And how can I make another save? Or why didn't I quite make that one? And it wasn't that annoying if you didn't make it. And it was really good, I think, for the younger goalkeepers to see that as well, because I think you showed most of them up. Which was great fun. It was good fun to watch, and the reason why we're talking to you now, because I think I think your story is very, very worthwhile knowing about, and the physical side of it is important. And I do see a lot of younger goalkeepers really doing a lot of what they should be doing, but maybe not necessarily with a view of playing for a long time. You know, and looking after their bodies in a way that they should be as well. But equally, older goalkeepers finding the time and the enjoyment of actually being able to improve their goalkeeping by looking after themselves physically. And it does sound that you are investing both time and money into doing that. If you're seeing a chiropractor once a month, and doing all the necessary bits that maybe take a little bit more time. So turning up early, and finishing later, having done a proper warm down, probably eating properly. I genuinely would love to be in the shape you're in when I am your age. That would be absolutely fantastic. And especially having played in goal for so long, it always amazed me that because I was pretty not broken, but by the time I was mid-20s, I kept on having back and hip problems, which part of the reason why I went into coaching rather than carried on playing. Like, where do you find the motivation to keep all that going? Like, obviously, I know you said you want to keep playing, but is there anything else?
Well, the enjoyment that you get from playing, I think you do get an adrenaline rush when things go right. And my belief is that the goalkeeper is the most important player on the pitch.
Of course.
But then I would say that. And so
we all know that.
But it's you have a relationship with the defence as well. And I'm communicating all the way through the team to the forwards. For if they've done something right, I'll praise them. If I want them to do something different, it's just so much going on. You should always be involved in the game and focused and sharp. And I just get a great kick out of it, I guess.
I miss the buzz of doing even if it's a simple save, just doing your job.
Yeah.
If it's a great save, even better, because there might be a ripple from the 3 people that are watching. But you might get a few more in at ISCA, but being hockey, unfortunately, it's only a handful of spectators most of the time. That I think is a big thing. It's not just a lifestyle part of it. There's a real reward, I think, from just doing your job, as simple as it is. Relying on the fact that you can be dependent or dependable. The other thing I want to talk about is kind of looking ahead, because we've looked back quite a lot. What are your ambitions? What are your goals? Where do you want to take your hockey? Because I get the feeling that it's not going to stop anytime soon.
No, I don't plan on it stopping. I'd like to. Let's see. I mean, at the start of this season, I did have a couple of niggles that limited my movement, but I think I've got those sorted out now. So we'll see. Next season, I'll turn up for pre-season again, and then it's in the hands of the coach to decide who plays. But I'll carry on playing Masters hockey. I enjoy that immensely. And there's always a good social side. And I find that I'm playing on the same side as people that I used to play against and used to almost hate when I was playing National League first time round. But I love them to bits.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful thing.
Yeah. Like, you're right. There's a huge social aspect to it. Hockey is brilliant for that.
It is.
I absolutely love that, and that's a huge part of it.
I wouldn't have met my wife if it weren't for hockey.
There you go.
Scarborough Hockey Festival.
Scarborough Hockey Festival.
Yeah, I went to Scarborough Hockey Festival while I was at Old Louts, and I was like a guest player for Scarborough College Old Boys. And she knew the girl who was the captain of Scarborough College Old Girls, and was just passing by for a day, and we met, and that was it. We got married.
Perfect. A hockey marriage.
Yeah.
You love to see it. I guess the one thing that I've got in my head at the moment is that I can see this conversation resonating with quite a few of our older goalkeepers that listen to this, and maybe finding it difficult to find the motivation to do some of the extra bits that they need to do to keep themselves fresh and make it easier every year rather than more difficult. Have you got sort of any advice that you would give them to help with their hockey, or even those that have stopped playing and kind of want to get back into it but maybe don't think they physically can, and how they would get themselves back into shape, both maybe physically and mentally as well?
Well, I think getting into shape physically is quite difficult now with lockdowns that we're getting. But I don't know whether gyms are open at the moment.
Sadly, not. Well, not where I am.
No, I don't know that they are here. I think level 2, yeah. So, but I've gone out. Like I said, I've got a running machine and we've got a set of dumbbells now. But I think if you want to play the game when you're older and you want to get the most out of it, then you need to be physically ready for it so that you can enjoy it to the most.
Yeah, and I think you
to
need
the absolute fullest.
Yeah, and that's where the enjoyment comes. It doesn't want to be a struggle or a slog.
No, exactly. And you don't want to be technically doing the wrong thing and shipping goals. If you get yourself in shape, you'll enjoy it so much more.
But I guess it takes that little bit extra. It takes that little bit more time to get yourself there. So maybe an extra stretching session, an extra gym session. Not necessarily going really hard, but maintaining things as you would need to, and depending on where you think you need to make improvements and things like that.
Start off small as well.
Yeah.
Start off small and go up in small increments. And don't worry about the running. Running's not necessary.
What's that?
Just do shuttles down the football pitch.
Just like, as you said, stay on your feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Just position yourself well, make your defenders do all of the work, and life should be easy.
Have a good voice. You need to project your voice, get the defence organised.
Easy. You make it sound like it's a piece of cake.
The wonderful things that I've got from hockey. I'm very lucky to have played when I was at Old Louts. I got to play in Holland, Belgium, and Germany, indoor, in the Europeans. So, and before that, when I broke into the first team squad, we went to Gibraltar before an HA Cup final for a training weekend. I've been to Spain, Australia, Hong Kong, Bangkok, all with hockey. And I've had the most amazing time. All of it is enjoyable. Absolutely all of it. I wouldn't swap it for
whole
anything.
Experience. I think, and it's you experience different cultures and meet people from all over the world, and hopefully they come and experience the culture of hockey in England at some point as well. Hopefully, when the sun's shining rather than it raining.
And you make good friendships with the Masters guys. You see them every couple of years. So every 2 years there's a World Cup. So you bump into the Australians every couple of years. But the European sides you see every year because they have a European Championships on the alternating 2 years. I
think what I would the main message from this conversation is that, like I said at the beginning, age is just a number, and I think your story is so far is amazing, and I think your motivation and the reasons why you want to keep playing are just very simple, but in a really good positive way. It's for enjoyment. It keeps the wife happy, and why stop? Yeah,
right.
No. If you can keep doing it, you keep enjoying it, and you're doing enough to do that, both specifically, especially physically, then why not?
Life does not go on for that long. No, unfortunately.
This is true.
But I should still be playing in my 70s.
I hope you are. I hope you are. Keeping those kids away from your spot.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on to that number one.
Yeah, exactly. Howie, thanks very much for the conversation.
Pleasure.
hopefully this will resonate, like I said, with quite a few people that listen or watch it on the YouTube channel, because I definitely think there are many others that are wanting to get back into it, wanting to play better, wanting to know how and why and where do they find the motivation from, and all that sort of thing, and all the things we've been speaking about. But it is a pleasure to chat with you, and also I can't wait to get back on a pitch with you at some point in the, in the future.
That's
see
the
if
other
I
thing
can
to
break
do.
you finally. This is a life goal of mine, is that I need to really
Bring it
find
on.
the limit.
I would say invest in your game, which is what I did when I had training sessions with you. And I look forward to having more training sessions with you.
Me too.
Because you need to keep, the game evolves, you've got to keep up with it. The equipment changes. I mean, we're a world away from cane pads and square-toed kick.
Well, you've got a lovely set of oboe pads now, haven't you?
I have.
They're very smart. You're not wearing them now, eh?
No. There's.
I couldn't
figure out a way to get them in the shop.
Well, you said you haven't played since the 12th of December. I thought you might have just put them on just to feel good. Make sure they still fit.
I do love the square-toed kickers. They're great.
The toe punters.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah. We've just got a nice set of oboe pads.
I saw the green ones
for Christmas. I couldn't be happier with them. Can't wait to get on a pitch with them and try them out as well. So we're chuffed to bits with that too. So probably we've had a few envious messages from some of our Instagram followers and things. But I'm sure we'll let people have a go with them at some point. Again, when we get back on the pitch. But listen, mate, been great talking to you. Keep it going, stay safe, and hopefully we'll see you real soon.
Thank you, Tom. It's a pleasure.